Assalamualaikum and a very good day to Seni Alif and to the viewers. My name is Norlaila Najib Paarthiban. My Matric number is T21B0128. So now I'm going to do the article review of the article of 10 things you should never do when you start a new job. So basically why do I choose this article is because this article has very interesting introduction since the author interacts with the readers by giving the situation for the readers to actually in the shoes of the intended audience. So basically the author just start with congratulations, you finally start to secure a new job. So it makes me want to know more about the article on what is actually the author tried to share about based on the topic and the introduction. Okay, now I'm going to further down with the body of the article. So first of all is the main idea. So the main idea that the author mentioned in the first paragraph is starting with the sentence of you want to be careful not to make any career ending mistakes. So basically from this main idea we know that the author is actually relating to the topic itself of what the things we should never do when starting a new job in the article. So next is the intended audience. So the intended audience is basically the individual who finally secure a new job. So we know here from the first paragraph when the author start the paragraph by saying, congratulations, you finally secured a new job. So here we know that the author actually purposely pointing this article to the person who actually got recently got a new job. Okay, now moving on to the key parts of the body article. So here are the key parts that are already extracted from the article, some of the key parts. So actually all these key parts, some of them is actually interrelated between them. So for example, about the ask question needed, but believe in yourself, actually other paragraphs, the author actually mentioned always ask and say that you don't know when someone tries to ask for your help from something that you're unfamiliar with. But he does also relate this point with the point of take initiative and master basics on your own when sometimes the employee tends to not try learn the standard operation procedure of the new working place. So this scenario actually mentioned by the author from the all the key parts just now to make it interrelated between them. And the key parts is actually relate to the thesis statement, which is the points of never, the points of the author of what we should never do when starting a new job. And all these keywords are given with examples in the scenario in real life, which actually generate the interest between the argument of the author and thus convince the readers of their notion of argument. The evidence that are provided to the keywords of the authors are actually the example and also the scenario that I mentioned just now. So, for example, of don't skip training session or treat it lightly. So the author actually mentioned this point by giving the scenario of sometimes the employees take it lightly because of the trainer supervisor is not the real supervisor. So they are aware of this trainer supervisor can actually repeat it and give bad impression to the manager and the real supervisor and going to give a bad impression for their work in the workplace. And lastly, this key parts is actually convincing, and the author actually anticipated the opposing views and counted them, and given the reasonable supporting details for the key parts. Now I'm going to conclude this article review by relating this article my own experience. So for me as a student, I find it very interesting to know what the thing that I I should never do before I start a new job. And the author actually gives the common mistakes that we do as a new employee and ways to tackle the work field. And also it does give inspired not to worry about entering the job, especially the work field in the future. So that's all for me. Thank you.